Hey guys, what's up? It's me, Tanti. Welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate your company, so thank you. So I have been seeing a lot of people moving to Portugal. I want to move to Portugal because they want to open their own business. They want to be their own boss. They want to make that moolah. They want to be rich in Europe and live the European lifestyle, which is amazing. But let me tell you something. To open a business in a different country, you need to be aware of the labor laws. If you're thinking about hiring somebody to work for you, and oh boy, let me tell you something. Over here in Portugal, we have a lot of labor laws. The labor laws over here are very strong because Europeans, they are focused on well-being and having like a work-life balance perfect for the Portuguese and for the European lifestyle. So we're going to be talking about this today, and I hope you guys enjoy it. Of course, we're going to be talking about the labor laws over here in Portugal because I live in Portugal. Right now, I am self-employed, but I used to have a business. So I hire people, I fire people, I interview people. I went through the whole process of having to pay a lot to keep my business running. But even though I'm going to give you all this information, make sure that if you're thinking about opening a business, you talk to a professional so he can just like give you all the details, give you as much as information as possible, so you know that if is maybe that's what you want to do or maybe that's not what you want to do, because yeah, it's a lot, my people, it's a lot. I have seen that video about like that girl getting fired and she filmed it, which was horrifying. And guys, that it will never happen over here because it is so difficult for you to fire somebody when you have a business over here in Portugal. It's a marathon. You have to really be careful when you're firing a person. You basically have to be like apologizing that you have to let the person go. So if you're coming over here from the United States and you're thinking about opening a business and you think that's going to be just like, oh, I don't like this person, you're fired. No, that's not going to happen. It's going to be very complicated and maybe just going to be very hard for you knowing that you just like have to adapt to this new culture. So I babble way too much. So let's start talking about the salary. Over here, the month have 12 months, but we do have to pay 14 salaries. 14 salaries. The month has 12 months and we pay 14 salaries, 2 extra salaries. And this salary is for Christmas, which is a full salary if the person has been working for a full year. And vacation, of course, you have to pay like a full salary, extra salary for the person on their vacation. Of course, this type of payments like can vary. So let's say they work for a year, you're going to pay a full salary. And let's say that the person is working like for 6 months, you have to pay the value that is proportional, the amount of money that is proportional to the amount of time that the person works. But it's basically simple rights that the person that works for you will have in case you hire the person and you have to pay. Otherwise, you can have huge fines and you guys are not going to be happy. So it's not that simple. Let's talk about vacation. Over here, you have to give between 22 or 25 days of vacation. But those days of vacation, they're not include holidays and weekends. It's only between Monday and Friday and their working hours. And another thing that you need to be aware, let's say that you hire husband and wife. The husband and wife, they will have to have vacation at the same time because they will be planning vacation, they have kids, and if they want to go somewhere, you cannot just like give vacation to the wife at March and give vacation to the husband in December. That's not how it works. So you have to be aware of that you need to make sure that you have a very well vacation plan that need to be talked to your employees. You guys have to organize things together. It has to be exposed so other people can see. It's just like, it's a whole thing. It's not just like vacation talking like we are talking right now. Things has to be extremely clear so they can plan when they're gonna go traveling, if they have kids to organize like babysitting and whatever. So very important, the vacation situation. Portugal, we have about 12 or 13 days of holidays, and the thing about holidays is just like I feel like it's a very complicated situation, because at least it was for me. So if I did not make any money on holidays because I had to let people go home and just be with their family, I would have to pay them no matter what. If I make money or if I don't make money, I have to pay. So that is the law over here. You can negotiate with your employees saying, hey, I'm gonna give you extra days off, I'm gonna pay you like this is how I'm gonna pay you. But the end of the story, you do have to compensate them in well. Otherwise, the next holiday, they're not gonna wanna work because they're gonna be missing family time. So this is like, I feel like this is like kind of a complicated situation. I don't know if this is like a bad impression that I have, or maybe just not that at all. Maybe just like a YouTube thing. They just like tell us whatever they want to tell us. But I think in the United States, people go to work even when they're sick. And over here, that would never happen. So when you hire a person, you need to know that when this person is sick, you would have to pay for their day off. You're gonna have to pay for their sick leave. And of course, you have a contract with this person, and Social Security also gonna be paying them for them to be home and rest and recover so they can come back and keep working for you. So you're not gonna get away with the fact that somebody in your team is sick and you're like, yay, you don't need to pay. You have to pay them anyway, so be aware of that. Another thing that you have to be aware, and maybe you guys are not used to it because you're coming from the United States and you want to open a business over here, is the fact that you would have to pay maternity leave and paternity leave for the mom and the dad that is working for you. Over here, it's so important. It's such a must. Is the law that you have to pay for that. And the way they work is you have to give to the mom between 120 and 150 days, something like that. And normally the dads, they get less days, but they still get day off. So they can just like connect with that child, help the mom, support the mom, because that is the moment that us as mom, as women, we need the most support from our husbands, from our partners, because we just brought like a person to the world and our body is completely messed up. So we cannot just like have a baby and just like go back to work immediately. We need support so we can go through this. And the way that works over here, of course, because you have a contract, Social Security is going to be covering part of that. But the most important thing is that your boss also is going to be covering some of that cost, because he wants you to come back. He wants to support you. He want to make sure that you're going to have a good experience. It doesn't matter if you're like a first time mother or if you have like 10 kids. It does not matter. You have the right to have that maternity leave. So be aware when you get over here and you wanna have your business and you're hiring like a business and you have like a bunch of mom and you have like moms that women in general that want to have kids, that maternity leave is going to be definitely a category that you're going to have in your bill for the future, because women do have kids, even though that right now over here in Portugal, the babies situation is declining a little bit, but women always have kids, my friend. So make sure that if you're going to hire somebody, make sure that maternity leave, it is a must for us. If you think we're done, of course we're not done. This is Europe. We do have to pay some extra cash over here. So you would have to include in your budget food allowance, because you do need to pay for the people that are working for you with a meal allowance for them to have lunch every single day. And you also have to pay for their transportation. So let's say that if they live in Lisbon area, you're going to have to pay a X, but if they do use the public transportation to go outside of Lisbon, you're going to have to also pay for that X for them to be living outside of Lisbon. Or maybe you're just going to be paying for gas for them to put in their car. Whatever agreements you have with them, you do have to pay those two things, but I guess you guys can work it out if you're going to be paying like in just public transportation, or if you're going to be paying like for put gas in their car so they can come to work and every single day. So, but this is another must that you're going to have to keep in your checklist of things that you're going to have to cover for your employees. Okay. Another thing that you're going to have to keep in your budget is for training and development. My training and development in my business are not going to be the same as in your business, because for me, what was important is for the girls that work for me, they will be able to express themselves better in English. I do have a little bit of difficulty sometimes in speaking some kind of words, but it doesn't matter because I'm always working towards like improving my English. So that was like the ideal for us, which is not going to be the same thing for you because every business is different. So let's say that you can maybe have a senior person explaining some, maybe some Excel spreadsheet in your company that's gonna make like everybody's like team work better. Or maybe it's just like somebody who's coming and doing some like motivational speaking or something like that. Like everybody wanna have something for the business. But this amount of money, this budget cannot come from the pocket of the people that are working for you. You do have to pay for that, and they will just like do it. They just like take the classes, because the idea is when you're investing on improving the skills of the people that are working for you, you are the one who is going to be benefiting from that in the future. Of course, your employees will have the benefits of learning a new skill that they can either use with you or in a different company, but it's just like completely off the point, because when they're working for you, you are working on that skills so they can improve your business, if you know what I mean. So I feel like at this topic, when you're talking to people who have employees, it's kind of an offense, because sometimes they feel like they don't want to pay for that, for this investment, because this can be used for them to be able to find a better job. But that was not my case. I was not worried about that. But I can see, like, just talking to other people that have business, other business owners, this could be like kind of like on offense for paying for something that not benefit your business in the future. But you're gonna pay, you have to pay, it's the law, you have to pay for this specific things. Of course, I know it sounds scary. It sounds just like a lot to have a business in a different country, because every country has different kind of labor laws. But I think it's so important that you come into a situation knowing what is expecting you, knowing what's coming in your direction, other than you just want to do like things in the dark and see what is going to happen once you're in a situation. So that's why I'm sharing this, of course, with you guys. And another thing that I want to say that I don't think I mentioned, but I'm going to mention now, is make sure that the person that you're working with, you're able to give them like a contract, because a contract, you're going to be discounting the Social Security, and in eventuality of something happen to your employees, Social Security will be jumping in and covering part of those expenses. So you don't need to like upfront the whole thing, and at the end of the day getting like a huge fine for not just basically following the law, obeying the law in relationship to labor laws over here in Portugal. So either you're working with a person in a contract, or you're working with a person like me who are self-employed, and I pay for all my expenses, my business expenses in this case. So this is like super important that you need to know. And I think that's it. I think it was like a long video, and I think I was able to explain a little more. But like I said, make sure that you do talk to a professional if you're thinking about just opening a business in a different country. It doesn't matter if it's here in Portugal or if like any other country in the world. Just like protect yourself and make sure that you're able to protect those that are working with you. And before I finish that, I just want to tell you that when you do have a business, and a family, if you're not, in general, of course, you just like bring your family into your business because your stress is going to be a lot of work and you're just going to drag in your problems into your home. So make sure that you search and you know what you're doing, you know what's coming in your direction, so you don't let that stressful situation coming into your life, because this is what's kind of what happened to me. This is like another topic for a different video, but I think like overall it's more that which is important to me at the moment. So guys, that is it. I hope you guys have like a basic idea of what you need to be prepared if your intention to open business over here in Portugal. And I think and I hope that I didn't scare you or I didn't change your mind, but I think those are like a very important things on my list. So I hope you enjoy it, and if you want to have more videos about Lisbon and Portugal, watch those videos over here. I'm gonna leave a link below so you guys can see more, or maybe this delicious recipe of octopus that I did, which is basically my best video over here in the channel that I made a long time ago. So yeah, beijos e até a próxima. Tchau, tchau.